Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel and tap the notification bell. I'd appreciate it majorly. So, I just wanted to provide follow-up on the 39 bodies that were found in the truck container in Essex, United Kingdom, east of London, at the Waterglade Industrial Park. The driver, who's still in custody, Mo Robinson, is being held on the suspicion of murder, and they have made 2 arrests. Yesterday, they revealed that the 39 bodies are all Chinese nationals. 8 of them are women. 31 of them are male. There was one that was a young, like a teenage. I believe that's one of the 8 women too. So they've arrested a couple in they're from Warrington, which is in sort of northern England, but they were arrested in Cheshire. I'm not pronouncing these things right, but which is not far from where they're from. It's only like a 10 miles or a 30-minute drive, whatever. So a couple was arrested there today around noon. I don't know what London time is right now. They're ahead of us by a considerable amount. So they were arrested around noon. Oh, actually, only like 3 hours ago, if I got my times right. And I assume that this picture there is where the couple lives. Okay, it's a man and a woman, and they're both 38 years old. Their identities haven't been revealed yet. I mean, it was just 3 hours ago that they're arrested. They are being arrested on 39 counts of human smuggling or human trafficking and 39 counts of manslaughter as well. So as a result, a 38-year-old man and a 38-year-old woman from Warrington have been arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to traffic people and on suspicion of 39 counts of manslaughter. The 25-year-old man, the driver of the lorry, remains in custody on suspicion of murder. A warrant of further detention was granted yesterday, Thursday, October 24th, by the local magistrate. I think they asked for an additional 24 hours to continue to question him. And so just to quickly review about sort of the timeline of the container originated in Zeebrugge, Belgium, and arrived in Purfleet, which is in Essex, east of London. Purfleet port, which I believe is on the Thames River, I believe. And that was it arrived at 12:30. Not yesterday, 2 days ago, 12:30 a.m. The driver, Mo Robinson, left that port at 1:05 a.m., so 35 minutes later. Then another 35 minutes later or so after that, at the Waterglade Industrial Park, which is only like a mile from the Purfleet port, as I understand it, the ambulance services were called, and as were the police. I don't know if the ambulance services were arrived and then called the police immediately upon that or what. And it's being reported by the Sun that the individual, Mo Robinson, is the one who called called 999, which is equivalent, I assume, to 911, like here in the United States, calling the authorities. Once he according to this account over at the Sun, I don't know if somebody spoke to him, briefly, in the middle of the incident or what, but he got out to check to retrieve some paperwork from the back of the truck, according to the reports. And I have a theory of what has happened. Basically, I'm going to tell it to you in a second. And discovered the bodies and he's the one who called the authorities. According to this, it says he passed out. Okay, so Robinson passed out when he opened the doors to fetch some paperwork and discovered the bodies. A horrified witness told the Evening Standard. Okay, so that's just a witness, not somebody that spoke with him. I don't know how they would have seen that, but whatever. The witness's claims have not been confirmed by Essex police, who have been granted an extra 24 hours to question Robinson after he was arrested at 1:40 a.m. yesterday. One pal told Mail Online when he opened the container up and saw all the dead bodies, he was absolutely horrified, as anyone would be, and called the ambulance service, who in turn alerted the police. I heard the container was refrigerated. The temperature was negative 25 degrees, and the bodies were frozen and had been dead for some time. According to this report, it is alleged by Belgium authorities that the victims were locked inside the container with a temperature of around negative 25 degrees Celsius for over 10 hours before they crossed into England. And this is key here, because this is going to be part of my theory of what may have happened. Is at border crossings, authorities are known to use thermal imaging to view inside lorry containers, but this technology doesn't work on refrigerated containers, which is why they use the refrigerated containers to smuggle these people to evade that. It may explain why 39 immigrants chose to be smuggled over the border in such dangerously cold conditions. My guess is that that there's persons that work at both ports. One at especially at Zeebrugge, there's probably somebody who they turn the reefer on, and I don't know. I would just think that the routine was that they turn it on to evade the thermal imaging scanners, and then turn it off at some point, immediately following that. Some employee who's basically part of the smuggling operation or on the take. And then when it gets to Purfleet, let's say there's another person, an equivalent of that, who turns it on again to evade the thermal imaging, if they have that there as well. I don't know. And then maybe the driver goes to check his load, to turn it off or whatever, to retrieve paperwork, and and that's how it would normally work. But somebody didn't turn it off. That's my theory. Now, it could be that there's not thermal imaging, scanners at the Purfleet port, and it's only at the Zeebrugge port, so it's only the one place. That's probably the more likely scenario. Basically, it gets turned on. The people in there, it goes through the thermal imaging scanner. Somebody on the inside, normally turns it off before it leaves the port, so they don't have to sit in there for 10 hours in negative 25 degrees temperature, and then it arrives wherever it's supposed to arrive. In this case, it was Purfleet. He goes to check his load, and it turns off. It was never turned off. That would be that's my working theory, basically. So, but 2 individuals have been arrested. Both a man and a woman, both 38 years old, in Northern England, in Cheshire, England, who are both from Warrington, which is not far from where they were arrested. I'm not sure why there's a difference there. If that's a working location and this is where they live, this is where their trailers are at, and this is where they live, I don't know. And I looked at Mo Robinson's Facebook page, which is still up there because he's in custody, and I'm sure nobody has touched it since. But, and he has many friends that basically worked in the trucking industry, tons. So it's impossible to like narrow it down to somebody that's from here without spending a considerable amount of time. I mean, like lots, like many of his friends are tractor trailer drivers like himself. So being that they all 39 are Chinese nationals, and by all accounts, illegal immigrants. Some suspect that they may have been their ultimate destination was, some kind of prostitution ring. I mean, but 31 of them are male, so I don't really know. But according to reports, police are looking into the idea that the migrants were being trafficked into the country to be sent to work as prostitutes, although this is unconfirmed. It is understood that the victims, who are believed to have died inside the refrigerator container of the lorry during their journey to the UK, are all Chinese nationals. And that's the story there. The lorry arrived at Purfleet Port, Essex, on the River Thames, having traveled from Zeebrugge in Belgium. All right, thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.